The Ottawa Senators, I am here for it. Shutout against the Toronto Maple Leafs. And that doubt is creeping in Leafs Nation. And it is creeping into the Toronto Maple Leafs locker room because the Ottawa Senators are all over them. And as this series lengthens and extends now on its way to Game 6, we're seeing Ottawa get faster. We're seeing them play simpler. We're seeing them forecheck harder. We're seeing a team that believes they can do it, and we're seeing a team with their back completely against the wall with nothing left to lose, pushing it all in for the Battle of Ontario. And we are seeing Linus Ullmark stand on his head, help lead his team through the charge, along with his defensive buddy Jake Sanderson, who is carrying the load for Ottawa. Everybody else is playing well too. We're going to talk all about the Sens, how they're breaking down the Leafs play by play. And do we think the Senators can actually do this, a la the Montreal Canadiens a few years ago, coming back from down 3-1? And don't forget, this series has had 2 overtime games already. This series could have been over if it wasn't for 1 or 2 lucky bounces in an overtime period. So Ottawa is this close. The 3-1 series lead was not indicative of how close it was. And I got receipts for you. Receipt number 1 is the forecheck. Batherson has the puck here up on the wall as Ottawa is leaving the zone. And it's a simple little play here. Batherson bounces the puck to himself. He loses his own puck. And this isn't to make fun of Drake Batherson. He's a good hockey player. It's to really show how meat and potatoes and simple this game is. So what he loses the puck, what does he do next? Obviously, you do what any Canadian team is going to do. Chip and chase. But here is the aggressiveness of the Ottawa Senators on the 2-1-2. I get it's Morgan Rielly. Leafs fans like to pick on him, but this is supposed to be a good defenseman. I know, go down in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. But just look at the aggression here from Ottawa. Not only are they the first ones on the puck, and that's completely inappropriate in the playoffs when you have a stride on them. It's like you've quit striding if you're the Toronto Maple Leafs, but you send 2 in on 1 and Rielly goes behind the net for a breakout pass? Something? I mean, look, Rielly's here with his partner. You got 2 choices here, Morgan, and he knows this. You go to the net, you protect the front, or you get over here as an outlet pass, but you only get over there as an outlet pass if your partner is going to win the race to the puck. If he isn't, he needs puck support. It is even feasible for you to go in the corner and support him, but you don't. Here's Ottawa on the forecheck. They're exploiting. And then because of where Morgan Rielly goes beside the net, it allows David Perron to just stand untouched in the middle. I mean, somebody cover him. And they're not just not covering him. They're there. They just refuse to skate to him and get on the right side of the puck. Ladies and gentlemen, the right side of the puck is over here. It isn't behind him. You need to be here between the goalie and the player. They just stick on the wrong side of the puck. Perron, wily vet, gets in front. He's allowed to kick it off his feet and get a shot that almost goes in. And yes, Morgan Rielly saves that one. But that is just an example of the pressure that Ottawa is exuding on Toronto and the bad decisions Toronto is making because of that pressure. Toronto is not beating themselves. Ottawa is beating Toronto and causing Toronto to have fits. I don't know why. I mean, they know what to do. But Ottawa has taken away enough time and space that's caused a problem for Toronto in this game, and it might cause a problem for the rest of the series. Same thing on the forecheck here with the Jimmy Stützle shot. Great defense. Great. You've knocked the puck away from Jimmy Stützle. You have 2 one-on-one battles going on right now, and Ottawa wins them both. This is just sheer grit, force of will. The puck is loose. It's the playoffs, baby. We want the puck. And of course, it's Brady Tkachuk getting that puck. They leave Stolarz out to dry. It's a wraparound. These shouldn't go in. If they do, you stink as a goalie, and Stolarz doesn't stink. But this just goes to show the aggressive forecheck and poor defensive zone makeup of the Leafs. And this allows us to talk about one thing: compete level. In the playoffs, it's a game up here. Who wants it more? Who wants to compete better? I know it sounds like a hyperbole. I know it sounds like made up fairy dust, but it isn't. Time, space, simple plays. Here it is on the penalty kill. Absolutely brilliant by Ottawa again. No goals against. This is what you got to do. 5 forwards out there for the Leafs. Look, that puck comes into the middle to John Tavares. He doesn't get a shot off. because they're able to get their stick in the lane. And of course, that's Pinto taking it away. He killed him tonight, especially on the kill. That guy was mentally in their head. I don't care how many times Matthew Nyes is going to throw you to the ice. When you score shorthanded like he has in this series, when you take pucks away from local hometown legend John Tavares, when you are able to do that at speed, you're going to get in guys' heads. That's heavily effective, and that is compete level at its finest. We're talking about inches, folks. We're not talking about miles. An inch goes a long way in this game. And here's where. This is where that goal ends up coming in. The Leafs are on the puck. You've all heard me say this. Backs and bobbles. When the puck's in doubt, send everybody. You go to the corner, first guy in. Toronto, quick little slash on the stick, no problem. Ottawa's there to follow it up, pin him against the boards. As soon as that pin against the boards happens, it means the Leafs have to get in here and support and outnumber. And as soon as those Leafs get into support, you should have 2 more Ottawa Senators getting in there. Send one, send them all. Everybody battle, see what happens in the scrum. But take a look at the patience here of Ottawa. Sure, they lose the battle, and because they didn't aggressively send all 4 of their penalty killers, which is penalty kill 101, by the way, they hold their position, they see where they're going to go, and they wait. This is an excellent penalty kill. This shows high brain function. This ain't your ape brain here. This is the mammal brain, folks. They move that puck. They like to go high to low. Nope, that's mine. We know where you're going. We have this set up, and we read and react. Now take a look. They've turned the puck over because of that great read and react. They're on their way to score a goal. We're skating back, and we're skating back hard, and we're skating through, and we're skating through to score a goal. But watch William Nylander here. You know I compliment him a lot. Gonzo, couple strides, Dylan Cousins, and all of a sudden, Nylander's already quit. That puck hasn't even come across the ice yet, and Nylander has given up. He stopped skating. That puck hasn't even been shot. There could be a rebound. There's things you have to do. He is standing straight-legged, one hand in his stick, feet together, like he just don't care, in the back of the net on Stolarz. Now you might be wondering, why am I jumping around? I'm not going in order of the game because I am going in order of what matters to Ottawa. Forecheck number 1, penalty kill number 2, just a bonus. You got a goal off of that. Number 3, simple hockey. Beat him on the draw here. Quick little face off. It goes to the wall and it just pokes out there to the top with Shabbat. Matthews has lost the draw. He hasn't tied up his man. And we know what's going to happen here. All players know what's going to happen up off the face-off. We're going to walk the line. Well, guess what, Mitch Marner? Guess what, Matthew Nyes? Somebody needs to get to the point here. You have lost the draw. None of you look ready to skate. And that's fine. Ottawa's ready to exploit because big man Brady Tkachuk is going to do the one thing he knows well to do. Play physical hockey. Tough, hard-nosed hockey. The man cuts hard to the net. And what we see is Auston Matthews getting in front. No tie-up, no help. Mitch Marner reaching and doing a nice pirouette. Matthew Nyes doing nothing, post-turtle mode. And Mr. Tkachuk in front of the net covering the screen for Stolarz. Stolarz can't see. He's got Tkachuk in his way. He's got Matthews in his way. That puck comes through, seeing eye shot. Bang. Tip in. Good goal. And I need you to tell me, guys, does that look like a face of a man pissed off, ready to cause vengeance and wreak havoc for his team? Nope. No, it isn't. That looks to me like the face of someone who just had their puppy kicked and there's nothing they can do about it. It's ridiculous. You need grit in the playoffs. You need bounce back in the playoffs. You need compete in the playoffs. You're allowed to have an off night, but a goal goes in. Don't look up at the sky, sunshine. Get back to the face-off, win a draw, hit a body, get in front of the net, and do it again. That's how the playoffs is won, and that's how Ottawa's winning. You don't believe me? How about this? We just showed Willie Nylander quitting. We just showed Auston Matthews looking like he gives up. John Tavares, former captain, puck steal. Great job. He's off to the races on a breakaway. As he's cutting in here, sure, there's a player on him. I understand. But a muffed shot? Really? From one of the best players in the world. Okay, maybe. He's not really a player that strikes me to do that when the iron's hot. So it's not as egregious as the body language of Nylander stopping to skate or Matthews looking at the sky, but it really isn't the JT I know. So as much as I don't want to take away from Nick Jensen's ability to get there and play hard, which he did, it is a combination of both. And we do have to make sure that we don't undersell the Leafs' troubles as any lack from Jake Sanderson and that D-core from Ottawa. They have been just frankly on fire. Sanderson, Chabot are awesome. Zub and Jensen on point. And Amidio, Pinto, and Grigg, well, that's been a very hard line to play against, especially Pinto on the PK. Everything for Ottawa is going well because everybody on Ottawa knows their role and is playing it top tier, including Linus Ullmark. We go over here to the Leafs power play. One of the biggest woes of them right now is the fact that they have been neutered by this kill. And even when this kill doesn't, there's no panic. Look, there's no urgency. We're just going to step in and, okay, we're going to put in a little backhand. Great battle in front of the net there by Ottawa. Just put them on their back, pure physical, outnumber them. They get to the puck first. All right, fine. They were unable to retrieve the puck. Toronto goes back into setting it up. It goes back down to Tavares, and they spend the rest of the power play just moving it around the outside without any high danger chances. Maybe it's time to get a defenseman back there to put some big shots on net. Maybe it's time to just put the shots to the shooters and let them do their job. Find Auston Matthews, put it in the net. Even Matthews, though, isn't looking like Matthews. Comes in here on a 2-on-1. I mean, this is the sweet spot, man. This is where Auston Matthews lives and shines. The opportunity to pass versus the opportunity to shoot. Quick little angle change. You know what he doesn't do here? He doesn't change his angle. He just drags the puck. There's no toe drag here. The signature Auston Matthews shift and toe drag. He changes angles by changing inches. And because he doesn't do that, the sniper scope's just not calibrated, bang, high off the glass. And what does a miss high off the glass do? Well, high and out of the zone. I get it. Players miss the net. Shooters are going to miss. But this stuff is off right now, and this stuff is off because of the pressure Ottawa has put on them. Now this is 3-2, and it's heading back to Ottawa. Hostile territory. They were this close in Game 4 of taking it because of an overtime. When they go back to Ottawa, if they're able to play their game, all they got to do is steal one at home. It's not even really called stealing if you're playing at home and you're the team that won the last one. And then you're back to Toronto, and it's a one-game series. Overall, if Ullmark remains hot, if the forecheck remains effective for Ottawa, if their big defensemen, especially Sanderson, continue moving the puck and gobbling minutes like they do, he gobbled almost 25 minutes tonight. If Brady Tkachuk and Pinto cause nightmares and terrors for everybody playing, if Perron leads, this team might be able to do it. I took the Leafs in this series. I can't change my mind. But I'd be lying to you if I didn't tell you there was a little bug inside my head that was saying, maybe this is flipped. Maybe it's Ottawa. Stay tuned for Game 6.